Greetings and welcome. I'm Bishop David Ricken, the 12th Bishop of the Diocese of Green Bay, and I'm very happy to share with you a video presentation of a special Mass that we had here in the Diocese of Green Bay on December 8th. It was special because it was an official approbation of an apparition that happened here over a couple of days of our Blessed Mother providing a vision and locutions to a young woman named Adele Bryce, a young Belgian immigrant. The Blessed Mother appeared to Adele Bryce, and she had some very special instructions for her, instructions that were so compelling that it really became the mission and the purpose of all of Adele Bryce's life. I was appointed as the 12th Bishop of the Diocese of Green Bay and arrived in August of 2008. And as I was hearing the history of the diocese and the beautiful things that are going on here in the diocese, one of the most beautiful stories I heard was the story about this shrine called Our Lady of Good Help. I'm fairly familiar with Marian shrines, but I had never heard of this one, and I wondered what this was all about. And so I went to visit the shrine. I heard many, many stories also of answered prayers of people from many, many years. Over 150 years, relatives have been telling the story of their relatives or they themselves who were physically cured or spiritually given consolation. Beautiful things that happened at this shrine all these many, many years since it happened in 1859. As I was looking over the history and everything that happened there, I began to start to wonder, perhaps this is something worth investigation. I also heard that my predecessor, Bishop David Zubik, had already decided before he was assigned to Pittsburgh to investigate the apparitions because there may be something there that could bear approval, at least further study and investigation. So after doing study myself and reading some of the documentation, and after hearing all of these stories, I decided to appoint a special commission of Marian experts to investigate all the documentation and some of the stories, oral stories that have been written down, and to really study these apparitions and see if indeed they may be worthy of belief by the faithful. It's our job as bishops to make sure that the faithful are protected from anything that may not be authentic and may lead people down the wrong road in the practice of their faith. But it's also our job, I believe, to investigate these, and if there is something viable and important and accessible to people, to declare that also, that something may be worthy of belief. And so after this investigation was done, I was very pleased to see that overall the investigation was very positive and that the classical signs of a legitimate apparition were indeed present. Some people have asked me, why me as the 12th bishop, why now, and why did it take so very long? Well, you know, all of the bishops have unofficially, implicitly approved of the shrine. Each one of my predecessors has been there for special masses. They've also recommended that people go there for prayer, especially when times are difficult. Why now? I think because after reviewing the apparitions and what the Blessed Mother said to Adele Bryce, right now seems to be so needed and necessary, the very things which she told her 151 years ago. We need more evangelization. We need stronger catechesis. We need stronger families. And definitely all of us need more prayer and to accept the call to holiness. I've been very close to the Blessed Mother since I was a child, and I'm so grateful to her for what she's done in my life, but in so many other lives, as I hear people tell about how close they are to the Blessed Mother, and that she's answered every prayer that they ever asked of her. Now, after 151 years, I think the messages that were given to Adele Bryce are just as pertinent today as they were back then. We're talking today about doing evangelization, about instructing our children properly in preparation for the sacraments, and about catechizing them and helping them to understand and to be able to defend the faith. It's just as pertinent today as it was then. So I'm very happy to be able to be in this position to approve these apparitions. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the Mass.